opportunities here.
They're about to do something.
Yes. And we appreciate the opportunity to catch up with our guest from NBC Sports Bay Area, Kings Insider. She was Jay's co-host on Saturday, Tristy Rodriguez. How are you today, Tristy?
Hey, guys. I'm good. How are y'all doing?
We're doing fun. I just want to know, are your shoulders sore from having to carry Jay through the whole afternoon on Saturday?
A little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I think my shoulders more than, to be honest.
Tristy, what was it like working with Jay though? Because we work with him here, and he was mentioning how when he's out on the baseball field, he's allowed to be a little more loose, a little more free. How was he on Saturday?
No, he was great. Other than us, having our little friendly rivalry, he was repping Team White. My Team Black won, of course. It was my first time ever emceeing or being in like a position like that, and he made me feel super comfortable. It was also like our first time really interacting in person. So he's great, and I've heard nothing but great things about him. So, again, I appreciate him making me feel comfortable, and we had a great time. It was fun.
You see how she put in the Team Black one, fellas, too?
One
thing I've noticed about Tristy real fast, as quick as possible, as she's talking about, is I dig this. This is what we do on the drive, guys. We talk about competition, who's better and why we won, and why when I take a loss to Drapes or vice versa, we have issues. Tristy's competitive. I like that. I like that. I can deal with that.
Oh. Guys, I grew up with 4 brothers, no sisters. I'm the only girl. All my cousins are boys. All my neighbors were boys growing up. Like, I'm super competitive. Our family, you think we're playing a friendly game of Uno? No, like, there's death let's happen at the end of the night. Like, it gets very intense. So, yeah, super competitive. So, have to throw that in there.
Yeah. Tristy Rodriguez, NBC Sports Bay Area with us, Kings Insider. Tristy, what do you think the Kings have to do more than anything else if they want to be as competitive as you are next season?
I think they need to do something. So a little more than what they did last offseason, I would say. I think that, if your offense is going from number 1 to number 13, that's obviously a problem. And there were factors that played into that. The West got better. The Kings kind of just stood pat. And I think, other than De'Aaron and Domas, they had their, there was periods of time where they struggled. But for the most part, they did their thing. They held their ground. And they just need the Kings a third option that is reliable. I think Keegan Murray has shown that he could potentially be that at times. I'm not sure, I fully trust him just yet. The Kings also are asking a lot from him defensively. So that's another factor that plays into that. But he definitely has that potential to be that third option for the Kings. Malik Monk was showing that at times too, but we obviously don't know what's going to go on with that situation. I just think that De'Aaron and Domas need some help sometimes because they're going to have those off nights. And when they do, who's going to be the person to step up? We haven't really seen somebody prove that they are able of stepping up to that plate on a reliable basis.
Tristy, do you think Keegan, holds the key to the success of this franchise? I feel like, as the number 4 overall pick, a guy that scored 47 in the game, the organization's hope is that he develops into that third. Do you think he's the key? We're talking about Zach LaVine and all these outside guys. Could Keegan be that guy?
I think so. I think this is why the Kings drafted him number 4 overall. That was obviously controversial at the time, but the Kings saw something in him. They see it now, entering year 3. And we talked about it even going into last season. It was sophomore leap, this year 2 jump. And again, I think he did. Although his, shooting numbers were down and stuff like that, I think he made a leap defensively. Entering year 3, I don't know if it's ever fair to have so much expectations on one player. So to say, their success next season is on Keegan. It's a team sport, but I do believe that they coincide with each other. Keegan's leap and Sacramento's leap next season will go together. So if Keegan, has that jump, focuses, and the thing I love about Keegan is that we all know he's super even keeled, sometimes emotionless. But he has brought those own expectations on himself. He said, I'm a top 4 pick. I have to be better, like stuff like that. When he doesn't have like the best games or he struggles, he knows what this team expects of him. And I think last season working with De'Aaron, they helped each other's games. And I think doing things like that continuously is only going to make him better. So to answer your question, yes, I do think he holds the key to their success.
Tristy Rodriguez with us, NBC Sports Bay Area. Tristy, as we all know, a year ago, Kings fans were sky high, having just come off the light the beam year where they got into the playoffs. Right now, things seem a little more uncertain. How important do you think it is for the Kings in terms of the fan base right now? How important is it to do something big enough this year to get fans excited again? Do you think fans can be patient if they have another offseason where, like last year, nothing really happens? Or do the Kings need to show their fans how serious they are by having a big offseason?
I think these fans waited 16 seasons without a playoff berth. They've been patient enough. And I think they've been loyal. They should be rewarded with, something in return.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously easier said than done. I'm not an executive. I'm not a general manager. So I get, I don't understand the ins and outs of the things. But I do think last season after, 2 years ago, making the playoffs, having a historic season, a Cinderella story, blah, blah, blah. And to go from that to this past season of not even making the playoffs, the sad thing is it's a familiar spot for Kings fans, but the frustrating thing and where I can understand where Kings fans are coming from is it was essentially the same team. They have the talent. De'Aaron and Domas did their thing. And so I think it is super important because this fan base is so loyal. And I don't want to be super biased, but they're one of the best fan bases that, I've experienced. I've been to NBA Finals games. I've been to soccer games. I've been to the Super Bowl, and I've never really heard any fans as loud as Golden One Center fans. So with that being said, I do feel like, the Kings fans were loyal for a long time and they deserve a little reward back. So I think saying that is not the way to go. Let's make a move and let's make the fans happy.
Yeah.
I'm with you 100%, Tristy. When you look at, this past season and, the shortcomings, the shortfall that they had, what do you think happened? Was it the Malik injury? Was it the shooting numbers? You talked about how the offense went from 1 to 13. What happened last season?
Man, there was a lot of things, little things. I want to blurt out free throws because
that too.
Geez, I know Rasay was like unhappy with De'Aaron's numbers too. So the whole team was super frustrating with that. I never want to like look back and nitpick at little things, but it's hard not to when like you do go to these numbers and you break down game by game. Had, Domas made those last 3 free throws, had De'Aaron made those last 2 free throws, it made all the difference in the game. And that also, you guys know, changes the position of the ranking in the West.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Instead of playing, or beating the Warriors and getting eliminated, they're in an actual playoff series and the best of 7 game. And of course, you could say that for any other team, but it's when something as simple as free throws could have made all the difference. That's just obviously a big concern and something I don't even know how you were shoot until September, nothing but free throws. I don't know how you actually work on that. Like, I know they were kind of mentioning it might have been a mental thing, and it was getting in their head. So other than just practicing dang free throws, I'm not sure how they can actually improve on that next season, but that was a big concern. I also think they might have gotten a little comfortable, and like the season that they had before, as they were writing that success, it was new to them, and like sustaining it was super hard for them. And Mike Brown talked about this a lot. Going from bad to good is easier than going from good to great, and that the Kings clearly proved that they weren't at that level this past season, and there's several we can point to that. I also think, just some of their experiments with their players just didn't fall through. You know, you can point at Chris Duarte, Sasha, you know, just different players who didn't really, like they had short leases, didn't really perform, you know, the limited minutes that they did get. Also, like Davion struggled a little bit, but was big towards the end of the season. So I guess it was a lot of things that you can point at.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the injuries, they were the healthiest team in the NBA 2 years ago, and then faced that adversity with the past season, which is also new to them. So, yeah, I guess, you know, I'm almost in a weird way, like happy that this happened to them so that they kind of got a reality check. Hopefully we'll be able to bounce back this season.
Joined by Tristy Rodriguez, NBC's Authentic. Tristy, real quick, this is something, and maybe you can settle it for all three of us. We've been arguing all off season so far who the Sacramento Kings' #1 target should be. Zach LaVine, Kyle Kuzma. I've mentioned Miles Bridges. We've heard Brandon Ingram, Jeremy Grant. Who's the person that you might be looking for that the Sacramento Kings should have interest from Tristy Rodriguez's point of view?
Oh, man. I actually think Kelly Oubre is interesting. I think you guys mentioned something about the Pacers King connection. Obi Toppin, excuse me, is also an intriguing target. Obviously coming off the best season of his career with Indy. But yeah, I think Kelly Oubre is interesting. I mean, he's 28, I think, almost 10 seasons in the NBA. A solid season with Philly last year, and you know, a short-lived playoff run. He can get to the paint. He can score. He can defend. He can rebound. He's athletic. He's long. He's like 6'7", 6'8", like 7'2" wingspan. So I think he's interesting. Again, I said Obi Toppin, coming off the best season of his career with Indy. I know his role was kind of limited last season, but he definitely made the most of every opportunity he got. And I think he'll be an interesting and even hot commodity in free agency if the Pacers don't retain.
Tristy, thank you so much for your time. Again, congratulations on a
No. You congratulating her for that win? Is that where you were going?
I was just saying on what a good job she
did.
Okay.
Well, excuse me.
That's all I was saying.
I'm getting emotional over here.
I was like, wait, what?
Sore loser.
Yeah, I thought he was getting ready to congratulate you for that win, Tristy.
Team Black, baby.
Thank you, Tristy. We appreciate it. Hope to talk to you again soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jay's a little touchy.
You put him out there between the white lines.
Right.
Look out.
I know. This dude taking it seriously over there.
When we come
I told
back.
You.
Yeah.
It's baseball field. I get a little touchy, fellas.
Well, by the way, we have a quiz coming up if you guys want to go there. The Whitey's Wayback Machine.
We got to do that next.
We could do it next
because I'm gone. I got to leave. I got to leave early.
Oh, man. I might not be ready. No, let's go.
Let's go. We got that coming up also. Did they get the Finals MVP award right? Still to come.